We're talking about, particularly about our Ritualized Workplace Challenge, our Positive Change Challenge. And we are lucky enough today to have Melita from the Country Club sharing her story. But just to give you a really brief outline of what that challenge was about, we've had over 100 workplaces across Tasmania participating, not without their technical challenges, but nonetheless we've got 100 workplaces participating and over 1,700 participants. So in terms of, in my time in this space, I've never seen, I guess, a movement that big in terms of being able to engage, with that many workplaces in the one challenge. So it's been, really positive from that end. And obviously the technical glitches, we can work through that, but certainly overall, and you'll hear today's positive story, it is about a holistic challenge that's encouraging people to take those, the resources and information and make positive changes in their life. Things like, setting their own rituals that suit their lifestyle, nutrition, physical activity, a lot of things that Graham spoke about this morning are covered within that challenge, and as well as encouraging others within your teams as well. So you'll hear more about it from Melita, and Melita Cornell is currently the Human Resources Manager with Country Club Tasmania, recently recognised as an employer of choice. Country Club Tasmania is part of the Federal Group, Tasmania's largest private employer. Melita has responsibility for human resources, strategy and management, industrial and employee relations, recruitment and talent management, reward and recognition, workplace safety, learning and development, organisational reform and employment policy across the business. Keeping you busy, Melita, by the sounds of that. And Melita is passionate about improving workplace health and wellbeing and recognises the importance of ensuring that the workforce reflects the community in which it serves, through values-based cultural and wellbeing initiatives enhancing employee engagement and performance. Welcome, Melita.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much for the opportunity to come and talk to you today about Ritualized. Can I just have a really quick show of hands who in the room is actually involved in Ritualized at the moment? Fantastic. So bear with me because there'll be a lot of this that I talk about today that you already know, and but absolutely thrilled, I think, to talk a little bit more about a really authentic and tangible program that we've found in our workplaces really worked. In terms of health and wellbeing for our organisation, it's been quite a journey over the last couple of years. So I thought in terms of, before going into Ritualized, I'll just give a little bit of context about Country Club Tasmania if you don't already know about us. So we're in northern Tasmania, one of the largest local employers within our region. We employ about 400 people. That's across a range of different disciplines in relation to hospitality and entertainment. So our organisation, we're an integrated resort, so we have just under 200 rooms. We have a number of restaurants, bars, etc., conference facilities, etc. So we offer a range of different types of disciplines for employment, and that can range from food and beverage to conference and events to greenkeeping, to maintenance, to marketing, to human resources, to commercial. So there's lots of different types of occupations in our workforce, but at the same time that also presents a number of challenges. So for us at Country Club, we have a number of full-time, part-time and casual positions, and I thought I'd just talk a little bit about what we're focusing on in terms of human resources. So for our people, in our employee value proposition, we offer career development through multi-skill and cross-skilling opportunities. We focus very heavily on work health and safety, and that's because of the diversity of the disciplines in which we actually employ our people. Flexible arrangements is something that's really, really key to working for engagement with our people, and we offer a range of fantastic reasons to work with us in northern Tasmania as well. So from a great range of discounts to rewards and benefits. Meals, dry cleaning uniforms are fresh available to our staff every single day. We offer things like a free canteen with healthy choices in our workforce. So one of the really interesting things when I first joined Country Club 2 years ago, there was a bit of a joke that used to happen with staff, which was when you join Country Club, the food is so fantastic, you put on 5 kilos. And, you know, there were a lot of people that would sort of say that to me, and I probably could evidence that that might have been the case. And in our staff canteen, we offer a range of different choices, but, you know, the promotion and actually the education of our people around the type of work, healthy choices that can actually make in terms of, nutrition, for example, is something that we've really focused on. And so, you know, Graham talking about, you know, really that burning platform around education, and we've found the more that we've gone through and actually educated our people and educated ourselves about what healthy choices are in the workforce and what we can do on a day-to-day basis, we've found that, you know, we've had a really fantastic response from our people. So our headcount, like I said, is approximately 400 people. We flex in and out of season, so we have a section of our workforce is really quite transient, and then of which is about 36% of that is casual. We've got a higher proportion of females to male employees, 54% to 46%. We have a greater female participation rate in part-time arrangements and lower level positions. And we're a 24/7 operation with shift workers. So again, shift workers have a number of traditionally difficult health challenges in that, you know, sleep patterns can be disrupted, ensuring that they're, having healthy choices on a day-to-day basis and that sort of thing as well is you know, sort of something that we've addressed. But one of the really fantastic things in our organisation in the last, couple of years is that we've been working really hard around female participation in the workforce and actually having great diversity. When I first joined the organisation a couple of years ago, the participation in senior positions was 17%, and that's me. I'm the 17%. When I arrived, I actually met the executive, and I sort of said to my GM, I said, "Oh, I can't wait to meet the team, you know, my team that I'll be working with on the exec." And he said, "Oh, well, there's Matt, and there's Stan, and there's Andrew, and there's Colin, and there's..." I'm like, "Oh, wow." You know, and so now I'm really proud to say that we have had the first female general manager at Country Club as well, in the history of Country Club, which is really exciting. And we're now, I think it's a 40% female participation in senior positions as well, and that includes the next layer of participation. So for us as an organisation, I think that we can clearly actually define or actually look at work health and safety as being profitable, and actually investing in the time and effort that we actually put into it, we're seeing a lot of payback. And in the last couple of years, we've seen a reduction in sick leave. Our workers' compensation is very, very low for an organisation our size. We offer some fantastic initiatives within our organisation as well, including income protection. So we provide protection for our employees if they have a non-work related injury, and cover them for up to 2 years. And that's something in addition to, any other type of cover they might have outside of the workplace, which is really about just encouraging our people to work with us and that we actually come from that values space of, caring for our employees. We have a very low percentage of workplace incidents and a proactive notification of risks and spot the hazard, which is fantastic. And we focus on rewarding and recognising through a cheer program, peer-to-peer in work health and safety as well. So we really actively promote people supporting their one another in relation to health and wellbeing in our workforce. As you can tell, I'm very passionate about our workforce. So within the last couple of years, we've been focusing around how we can actually create a strong link to the strategic plan of the organisation and actually driving and focusing on health and wellbeing in the organisation. So for us, our focus was very much around, I stepped it out to looking at motivation, resilience and wellbeing. And underneath that, that's part of our people strategy, which comes directly from our strat plan. And so then that then flows down into what the practical activities are that we do. Ritualized is part of that, and so and has been phenomenally successful, I think, in our workforce. So some of the things there that I've just named up really quickly, around motivation is incredibly important. The promotion of energy of action through healthy living. We make it easier for our people to make healthier decisions every single day. And it's the small, simple steps. And I think that that's part of why Ritualized was taken up in our organisation so much, because it was easier for people to actually pick up and actually run with. Resilience. Healthier workers are happier and more enthusiastic and more productive, and all of the literature has, basically said that. So that's well researched. Wellbeing. Ritualized, we work a lot around above the Align program, which is around ensuring that workplace behaviours are appropriate. EAP, promotion of Beyond Blue, we do a lot of work in relation to that, and Are You OK Day. Other activities, we've got flu vax, healthy choices for staff. We had a Wellbeing Expo, Ritualized, Point to Pinnacle team, Balfour Burn, etc. And we have stand-up desks at Country Club as well. So we're very excited that we put those in just over 12 months ago now, after hearing Simone talk at an employer of choice function, and she's from Westpac, and she was telling us how fantastic it was. She invited us to her organisation. We went and had a look at their stand-up desks there, and we took that idea and actually implemented it back in our organisation, and we use it in areas where there's pretty sedentary work. So, for example, in reservations where you have people sitting for really long periods of time, in places like procurement, our executive assistants, etc., they all have the opportunity, and HR, we have stand-up desks there as well. So, certainly there's lots of practical things that we've done in order to, drive health and wellbeing as a really key important issue in our workforce, and so it's front of mind. So some other things we do is we design our jobs, workflows and careers that encompass flexible working, and a really important thing as well has been around rostering. One of the most important things that we can do as an obligation as an employer is to ensure that we're actually rostering our people appropriately. Sometimes people want to work longer shifts in shorter hours. Maybe that's actually more profitable for the business to actually do that in some occasions. However, we have actually really crunched the numbers, and when you actually look at ensuring that your rosters are safe and healthy for the employee, we've done a massive project over the last 12 months where we've actually taken apart and pulled together and taken apart and put back together the rostering practices for each of our teams, and ensuring with that overlay that they are healthy rosters, because we want our people to be just as fresh on their last shift as they are on their first. And if they're doing 5-6 day shifts, or any longer than that, that is just not appropriate, it's not healthy, and it's not good for work-life and balance for our families. And one of the other big things we're doing is we're developing a culture where it's okay to make mistakes and fail. And that's really about recovering from that and actually, sort of saying, we're a safe environment where we learn from our mistakes, and we're actually going to come back from that stronger and better and better as a team. So Ritualized. Ritualized was fantastic, and I think that one of the great things is that, a lot of what I've spoken about before, a lot of organisations don't have HR teams that actually can drive initiatives in work health and safety, or specifically, if you're a smaller business, you may not have a dedicated work health and safety consultant like we do. But certainly, one of the great things about Ritualized is that it was really easy to sell. And as a HR person, I often go out into the business and I say, oh, we've got this fantastic program, and you have to educate people and then build the momentum and, build the burning platform and everything else like that. I think maybe some of the work we'd done prior, sort of with the workforce has got us to this point. But when we went out to the employees with Ritualized, the uptake was instant. They were just straight away, and we didn't have to do much promotion. And so that, to me, participation rate is always a measure of any type of program, but the instant participation rate was absolutely phenomenal. And so our workforce as well, only a small percentage of them are actually at desks. The rest of our workforce are, out on the golf course or out in the stables or, on the floor in F&B. And so, I think one of the big things about this program was the fact that it came with an app. So you could download your app onto your iPhone or onto your phone, and made it really easily accessible. So for those of you that don't know much about Ritualized, it's an amazing new program. It was developed by Paul Taylor. I had the opportunity to see him speak a number of months ago. He came to our leadership forum, and as a leading neuroscientist in Tasmania, he's developed a program which really just develops small habits good intentions, into small habits. It's all that day-to-day stuff that you can put. And it's a really small, effective way of engaging your staff. So Ritualized is simple. It's an effective 4-step program, and it has things like your bio age. That was a bit confronting when I did my bio age of my team, and we're sort of all talking in our tribe about our bio ages. Certainly something that, as we're going through the program, we're sort of going, we're really excited to know what our bio age is going to be in a couple of weeks when we finish. Small steps, toolkits, etc. So there's lots of education in there about, things around diet and nutrition and wellbeing, etc. And it's really just about what you repeatedly do. It's about, changing those habits. We have people that, we have lake walks. Those of you who've been to Country Club, we've got this beautiful lake on our golf course, and our staff would often walk around it at lunchtime. Well, we have whole groups of people now walking around the lake, which is absolutely fantastic. So there's one app, many devices, access to lifestyle tools and a range of devices with leaderboards, and that absolutely taps into the Tasmanian ideal of they're so competitive. So we have cleaners that when this first came on, they were going, yeah, we're going to nail the housekeepers because, we can just totally, with the amount of steps that they do every single day. It was just really accessible, and people felt that they were, in that competitive environment, which was fantastic. So just really quick observations. It connected our people through tribes, and we have 13 tribes at Country Club with groups of, 7 to 10 people. It's really competitive. There are the online app platforms, which I mentioned. We didn't have to promote. We've got a leadership board in our staff canteen. We're currently in week 5. I think we've just moved into week 6 this week. We have our LMS team, which is our most sedentary group, which is our finance team. They're actually leading, and they're really, really motivated. And the conversations that you actually hear in the staff canteen about how people are going is just great. And some more, it's really just about the education, the influencing of people to really do things like take the stairs, walk in the lake. We're hearing people talk about it in the staff canteen. People are, drinking less alcohol, less carbohydrates, less sugar. We have people that have quit smoking, and probably, looking at, this, shift workers in Tasmania, or I think also probably across Australia. Traditionally, there's quite a high percentage of them that are smoking, and so to actually start that dialogue with our people is a big, sort of issue to move, and certainly we're making some great inroads in that. People are training for events, doing Launceston 10, and talking to each other about how they're tracking against one another. So, so certainly from our organisation, we feel very passionate about it. We feel that, we're well on our way in our health and wellbeing strategy journey, but there's still, certainly a lot of work that we can do, and certainly have really enjoyed the opportunity to be involved in this great program. So thank you very much to Skill Tasmania. So that's it from me today. Hopefully, you've learned a little bit more about us and what we're about at Country Club, and also about how Ritualized fits within our overall health and wellbeing strategy. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Melita. And again, what we really enjoy about these events is the ability to be able to have our own workplaces in Tasmania share their stories, and so a lot of ideas that that Melita put forward then. Simple, practical ideas. It just takes a little bit of time and effort and enthusiasm, to create those positive changes. So thank you, Melita, for coming all the way from Launceston and sharing your story today.